And spawning in the right-hand corner of Defender's Lab, we have the blue Protoss player himself representing Quasar. It is Art. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the red Zerg player. We have the red Zerg player himself from the land of Sweden, living in the land of South Korea. It is SortOf. Here we go. Here we go. If you're in the chat, you know what time it is. It is Gamba time. Predictions are now open. Predictions are open. Place your bets on who you think will claim the series. Best of luck in the chat as we delve into our initial best of 3. Welcome to the round 16. Let's go. Let's go. Welcome to Defender's Lab. But coming into this, we do have our initial opener. Hatch first out of SortOf. Gate expand out of Art. We're settling into our standard openers here, and welcome to Defender's Lab. When it comes to this map, of course, it is a maybe not the most visually appealing map. I will say that 100%. That was one of my biggest critiques, is the visual aesthetic of the yellow grid and the black grid. So maybe not the most visually aesthetic, but when it comes to the map itself, we do have our natural expansion, relatively secure. There are 2 entrances into the high ground outside of the natural, a very wide entrance here on the top side, a more narrow entrance here in the center of the map. Scrolling down, we do have our 3rd location, also relatively secure, and from here we can expand forward into the map itself. When it comes to the center, that's where things get interesting. We have speed zones. We have a bunch of speed zones throughout the center of the map. This does help with rotations, aggressive rotations back and forth from one side to the other, so rotations and main pushes are going to be benefiting from the speed zones. Meanwhile, we do have steam vents and rocks as well. This will help when it comes to deterring the main attack path, so you can secure this forward base with the help of these rocks, and will help with the side blockers as well. So we do have side blockers, we have rocks to delay, to deter at least a little bit, but then the map does open up eventually as rocks are knocked down and as the map does open throughout the mid to late game. Oh boy. For now, we are going to be opening up over here back at home. We'll get into our check of choice. Quasar. Art, he is typically one that does mix things up quite a bit here. And I do apologize. Okay, yeah. Predictions are closing in the chat. Get your Gamba going while you can. Get your Gamba going. Just catching up with the chat itself. I see Artemis in the chat. Hey Artemis, calm down. Don't be a clown, Papi. Don't be a clown. It's catching up. Everything's on like it's all good to fight. It's all good. GG, Papi. GG. From here, we're going to be opening up. Ooh, speaking of opening up, sorry, I was a little bit distracted in the chat, but it's not going to be a Stargate, it's going to be a Twilight Council opener. Early Twilight Council, early Blink, hyper aggression out of Art. We're expecting a gateway explosion. We're expecting 4 gateways, but if we go up to 6, that'll be more indicative of a 2-base all-in. So eyes are on the gateway count. We'll see where Art does take us. So far, we have a 2nd gateway on the way, Robo as well, and the tech is hidden. The Overlord fails to scout. Yeah, the scout is denied. Art does deflect. Lings are being active. Lings getting in position here will get eyes on any kind of move out. So say if it was a Stargate opener into an Oracle, the Oracle would be seen. Robo opener into a Prism as well. So Lings a fan out to scout. They're looking for the move out. We can see there is none. There's a gateway explosion. We spoke about this. 4 gateways is just pressure into a 3rd, but we're building up into 5, soon to be 6 gateways, 2-base all in. So a massive 2-base all in here from Art. Getting up to 5 gateways, sorry, getting up to 6. 6-gate blink. Prism is on the way into the Warp Prism. And it's all or nothing. Now, when it comes to SortOf back at home, he's playing safe. Oh, you can see here the Spores on the way. This tells us he doesn't know what's going on. It could be a Dark Shrine opener, for example, so getting a safety Spores, safety detection. Roach Horn's on the way, so very safe play here out of SortOf, getting his Spores thrown down. This is inefficient, as the Spores won't be helping in the defense, but at least has the Roach Horn itself, and at least does not over-drone. Yes, here we go. The all-in is upon us. RT's moving out. The Prism does join. Oh, catching up one of the Stalkers already. Ooh, gets one. Nice pick off. Does catch one Stalker. The Lings, they do force a defensive warp in. This is a fly that's stuck at home, not across the map. So this is doing damage. Does force that warp in. But the army has arrived. Yeah, the army has arrived. Get into with the first queen. Yeah, one queen goes down. Waiting for the warp ins. As the prism is moving in. Getting into the mineral line. Queens, they do zone back the prism. Delaying any warp ins. Delaying reinforcements. We can blink into the main. He blinks in. Oh, God. Dives into the main base. Where's that warp in, though? Yeah, Arch, he's banking resources. Banking warp ins. His reinforcements are stuck at home. No, no shot. He recalls back home? Aye, 5 drone kills. He recalls. A massive delay on the all-in. And Art is delayed. But sort of, can he hold on? This is still a lot of stalkers. On the one hand, yes, the all-in has been delayed, but the all-in is like, there's still a lot of stalkers. It's still a heavy stalker army here. And sort of, he's bleeding out Lings. He's slowly massing up his roaches. Sort of, he does need more time. Oh, does get us around. Okay, catching up the army. Catching out 1, 2, 3 stalkers. Not bad. Surrounds once again. Oh my god. Yeah, surrounds the stalkers. Hyper efficiency here by SortOf. Yeah, 6 stalkers falling. Very nice trades here by SortOf. And again, this is all buying time. It's buying time for more roaches, more ravagers, more lings. SortOf so far is holding on. He's sort of holding, true. SortOf back. As Art, he again tries to commit in. Ravagers can we get on top of the prism? The vials! Oh! Does dodge. Does dodge the vials. Stalkers still gonna be falling. Ravagers, they dish out a lot of DPS here, and Stalkers are going down. But we need more Zerglings. Yeah, we need more Lings. Vials, they up! Do connect! Prism goes down! And he blinks in. He blinks on top of the army here. Desperation out of heart. Clutch transfuse from the queens. Shadow to the creep. The Ravagers still go down. There's still too many Stalkers, but they're so low on HP. They're so incredibly low. And sort of he's droning? Wow. The confidence to drone in the middle of the all-in. Crazy. Oh no. Can he get away with it? Esther, sort of. Once again, pouncing on those Stalkers. Gets 1. Gets 2? Ah, just the 1. Just the 1 Stalker. Ooh, sort of gets punished. Fighting off a creep. This is a messy fight here from SortOf. Yeah, he's getting everyone, getting overwhelmed. Bleeding out more roaches. Massive pickups. This might just be too much. This might just be too much here from Art. Catching out 2 roaches and a queen. Yeah, 2, 3 queens going down. SortOf's been broken. Yeah, SortOf, he has been broken. He's bleeding out far too much. Diving on the final Ravagers. 0 Ravagers left. Lings, they try to engage, but we can blink back. The micro, the control, he blinks away, he can lift. Oh my god. And again, so, Art, he has done it. He has broken SortOf here. SortOf barely, not enough. He got caught out of a creeper one too many times. No more Zerglings left. Roaches are exposed. And Art has done it. Diving on the final roaches here. GG gets called, and Art, he takes game number 1. Whew. GG. GG, well played. Art does take a lead in the series. Again, massive 2-base all in here by Art. SortOf was doing a great job when it came to forcing defensive warp-ins, forcing the recall back home, delaying the push, catching Stalkers in the center of the map as well. It was impressive, but as we did point out, there were one too many times where he was caught off of creep, bleeding out roaches, and roaches, he couldn't quite afford to lose them. He had a limited economy himself. You could argue that maybe SortOf could have droned earlier, but droning as late as he did was quite greedy, and he was punished for it. Of course, he was punished for it. Again, he only had 42 workers, so a low economy, lower drone count from the side of SortOf. He tried to maintain himself, but again, there were some key moments where he did bleed out roaches and ravagers, units he could not replace, that he could not afford to lose. GG. GG, well played. It was quite close though. It was quite close. Definitely a moment where SortOf almost fully held, almost. But with that, we're getting into game number 2. Gonna be loading into Sanctuary. Oh boy. Maybe if the contrast on the tiles would be a bit lower, it'd be better. I mean, I would personally, I would expect the tile set to be adjusted coming into release. For those who don't know, the map makers for these maps are still taking in feedback, and they're still adjusting, and they're still making changes. So any feedback that you do have would be appreciated for said map makers. I think something that I should emphasize, because I see Chainsaw saying what a hater. I actually rated the previous map quite highly. The one negative thing that I had to say was about the aesthetic of the map. But when it comes to the layout, when it comes to the side blockers, the steam vents, the rocks, the speed zones, the layout, the ramps, the positioning of the bases, like I did have some positive things to say. That's what I provided in my feedback. Bearing in mind I was one of the judges of TLMC. But let's go. Let's go. We're jumping into game number 2 and spawning in the top right-hand corner of Sanctuary 3. We do have the blue Protoss player. We have the blue Protoss himself leading the series 1-0, representing Quasar. It is Art. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the red Zerg player. The red Zerg player himself from the land of Sweden, living in the land of South Korea. Down in the series, can he bounce back? It is SortOf. Let's go. Let us go and welcome one and all to Sanctuary. Ooh, and I'm curious here as to the map itself. Welcome to Sanctuary 3. This is a resubmission, if you recall. We did judge this map back in TLMC 21, then it was resubmitted for TLMC 22, but with changes made, of course. So we have our high ground natural base. What I mean by that is a ramp. Ramp coming into the natural, so a very secure 2-base setup. Can be opened up over time, but for the most part is very secure. We do have our triangular 3rd base, which is also relatively secure as well. There is this area on the low ground that can be abused, so you have this low ground set up in between the bases where you can engage, you can be aggressive on. Likewise, we have the low ground expand as well, which is right next to our bases, so the distance between your natural, your low ground base and the high ground 3rd is quite close. And then of course we have the direct path across the map. This was our biggest criticism about this map, is the very direct attack path from 3rd to 3rd, but I did admit that because of these rocks that can be knocked down, that will disrupt, that will potentially delay pushes. We have these destructible towers here in the center and here as well. So if you see an all-in coming, if it's like a 2-base all-in or 3-base all-in, you can knock down these towers ahead of time to help you defend your 3rd expansion. So that is a factor here. I do know that the map maker for this map, after receiving feedback, was tempted to maybe even throw down a slow zone in the center as well. I don't know if that's necessary. It's hard to say, it's hard to judge. I also wouldn't say that it isn't a negative thing to have aggressive options available on a map. It's possible that maybe these destructible towers are good enough. It's hard to say. It is hard to say. But again, the rush distance by gun is very direct, at least from 3rd to 3rd. When it comes to our 4th locations, they're a little more spread out, a little more exposed. Once again, we have this low ground area in between the 3rd and 4th base that can be abused, a wider attack path here on the right hand side, or even from the top side as well. I will say, again, the purpose of this period of time right now is to test, is to play out as many games as possible on these maps, to test them out, to get some feedback, to get some data, and also to provide that and to even vote on the maps, of course, moving forward. Bearing in mind that voting is open tomorrow, I believe. Tomorrow or sometime this week, public voting will be open for maps you want to see in the map pool. So it's all about taking in these maps. Meanwhile, once again, Twilight Council opening. Once again, Twilight Council out of Arts, a Gateway Explosion, this time DTs. Last game, it was a 2-base, 6-gate Blink all-in. This time it's a 2-gate DT all-in here instead, as we're throwing down extra gateways. So 4-gate Dark Templar out of Art. Very committed, very aggressive, and we'll see if SortOf can keep up. Now, last game, if you remember, SortOf did blindly get some safety spore crawlers. I'm hoping he does so this time as well. As SortOf, once again, is scatters denied. The Overlord is on low HP, less than half. The Overlord cannot move in. Safety Roach Warren out of SortOf, so far so good. He's getting a Safety Warren and cutting workers at 38. But I don't see any spores. Now, just like last time, he does fan out his Zerglings. As I mentioned previously, he's looking for any Oracle moving out or War Prism moving out that will give him some information as to what the build is. And he does for the Prism. He now knows earlier Robo. Earlier Robo, earlier than last time. Spores are on the way. Getting a Spore at the 3rd and a Spore at the Natural. Very well timed. So the Spore, at least at the Natural, should finish in time. Adepts are getting caught. Here comes a massive warp in, 4 Dark Templar at a time. And against SortOf, he does have his spores. They're in position, but can he defend them? That's still 4 DTs. Now making the way towards the queens. Oh, gets on top of one. Tries to at least, and so far SortOf he defends. Yeah, nice positioning. Does deflect. Whew. Holds on against the Dark Templar, and here come the Archons. Again, that is the main strength of this build, is that, hey, DTs, if they don't find any damage, morph in Archons and hunt down Overlords. Hunt down Overlords, deny creep, threaten mineral lines, and hunt down queens as well. So here comes the follow-up Archon drop. He's going for the queen. Takes out a tumor. Settles for the Overlord. The Lings, they will disrupt the third, but the third should get up and running. Yeah, none of Zerglings. Not enough. Prism pulls away. And our players are transitioning. From here, Art is expanding, and SortOf can now drone. He can now just drone up freely. Oof. As Archons get into the middle line, 3 drones go down. Not bad. Okay, 3 drones and a queen. 2 queens even. Oh my god. Just the one. So 1 queen and 3 drones. Not bad here from Art. Back at home, does defend with the Dark Templar. And we're following over Charge. Charge is a follow-up Immortal production as well. We'll keep an eye on that Immortal counts. Art still being active. And this is where the rush distance background is going to come into play. This is where I would say that SortOf, if he wanted to, we could go for a 3 base all-in. But he's taking more gases. Never mind. He's taking all 6 gases. Tells us he's taking up a little bit further. He's droning, is saturating. And we'll see where he stops. Once again, Art, he's building up a very robust Archon and Immortal army. And once again, because of the direct path across the map, it is going to be difficult to engage ahead of time and engage when it comes to multiple angles. Eyes are on SortOf. Art is pushing in. They're already pushing out, actually. Doesn't even saturate. I assumed that he would at least run up his third. No, it's fake. It's a fake third, but we're just committing to the all-in. What does he have? 4 Archons and 4 Immortals. Is SortOf ready in time. The army has arrived. Whilst they, to graze the army at least, they graze 1 Zealot. And they, oh look at that, the force field! He catches out the Ravagers. The Ravagers go down, Lings they cannot engage. And this is getting a hand. This is getting a hand here. The force fields are insane, catching out 3 more Roaches. And 3 more Roaches caught out. And SortOf, he's in trouble here. Once again, we spoke about this, but the rush distance background is so short on this map. I mean, from third to third, I should emphasize. As the army moves in, breaks through the Roaches, and SortOf, he's being broken. He's being broken here and now. Art, he has control of the high ground. Massive shots going off. Roaches, they cannot engage. And remember, the soup is lying to you. The soup does lie. It's inflated because of all the Roaches. So it's a smaller army for SortOf. Oh, the Biles! Oh my god, the Biles, they bring down the Prism. But it's fine. It doesn't matter. Yeah, it doesn't matter. GG gets called. Art, he breaks through, he overwhelms, and Art, he will claim the series 2-0, advancing on to the quarterfinals. GG. GG, well played, Art. He does claim the series. Hyper aggression out of Art, going for a 2 base all-in in game number 1 and a fake 3rd base here in game number 2. Again, there were only, what, 5 probes at the 3rd. It was just a fake expansion. He was luring SortOf into droning. And remember, SortOf, he took his gases. He was droning up to 3 base saturation. SortOf, he was getting ready for a longer game. And then, bam, 2 base all-in. It's just, it caught SortOf off guard. He was not ready for it. He was not able to engage ahead of time. GG. GG, well played. With that, Art does snowball out of control, and Art will claim the series. And let's catch up on the rest of the bracket. Again, hyper aggression and cheeky builds here from Art. Oh, does catch SortOf with his pants down. The pants were down, Pappy. The pants were down.